I need to ask you a question.
Be curious, drifters.
Amelia's duel hits the front. Emma is coming right away for Damien Oliver.
Bella Nippon-Cedar, and boy, doesn't she deserve this.
The Giga Kick's got a strong kick.
Golden Mile, soar out the mile. I'm Thunderstruck over the top. Mr. Brightside has won the mile.
And Militarised blows them away in the Champagne Stakes. And she's a class act, pulling right away Prowess. And Zoo Gotcha won it by 2.5.
Zaki joined by Animo, who looks destiny in the face.
Look, we're in Mourning, drifters. We're in Mourning.
Today is a national day of mourning, drifters.
And we've dressed appropriately. We've got the tissues ready for what is going to be a brutal review podcast of what was, quite frankly, a disgusting Derby Day.
I don't have the words, mate, to describe the massacre that took place yesterday. We were butchered, mate. We didn't stand a chance.
We didn't. And if you've somehow got out of this massacre unscathed, full credit to you. That is a hell of a performance, man, woman, or child.
Yeah. Any brass instruments around? I feel like we belong in a jazz band by the looks of us. feeling like a poor man's Neo. They call him the one. They call me two. feeling like some shitty saxophone player in a shitty jazz band.
Oh man! At any point yesterday, did you think it was going to turn around? At any point?
Oh, I'm always optimistic, mate.
Yeah. Like the Coolmore, for instance.
Oh, I thought I was better, mate. Do you know what? Do you know what it is? Like, and we needed a humbling experience, mate. Oh. We've been getting too big for our boots.
Our boots were so big,
mate,
so big,
and we were filling them out. We were getting too big for them.
We were,
mate. With two weekends in a row. We had arguably the greatest futures bet in history without a fight.
Sure,
pull off.
Yep. Thank you.
And then the next weekend, well, give the victim a bit of credit, but nearly picked the card.
Yeah,
in Moonee Valley.
I know.
So I thought I started to think that we were just better.
Well, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
We have that as like.
Sorry, mate. Just give me a second.
Well, you might cry a little bit more after I ask you this question. I want to ask you a question. When do you think like the peak of like, say, the racing happens, right? So say race 6, race 7 at Flemington, what time would that occur, do you reckon?
3-ish?
Yeah, okay. 3 p.m. yesterday in Melbourne, it was 19 degrees. Can you answer me the question of how that track has been upgraded to a good 3? How? That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. That is ridiculous.
I've never seen it play like that. I tell you what. So it's the Victorian Racing Club, right? They've got VRC's got Flemington, and then Melbourne Racing Club's got Caulfield, and Moonee Valley Racing Club obviously has the Valley. So Caulfield, I thought it played pretty well.
Sensationally well.
Moonee Valley can have massive bias, but for the Cox Plate Carnival,
yeah, when the whips are cracking, it plays pretty fair.
Yeah. Flemington, they have on their bloody badge of honour, we are the best playing track in the country.
And the best horse wins.
Not
yesterday.
Not yesterday, mate. That was disgusting.
It was the worst I've ever seen him play. Like
easily.
For instance, prior to Jenny, right?
Oh.
And I had a look at her stats after the race because I was fascinated to see. Like, she has some pretty decent form. Amelia's duel form, Espiona form, some of the best mares form going around from, the last bid. Track got upgraded to a good 3. Her good track stats, 12 starts, 0 wins, 4 seconds and a third. You can't tell me that there wasn't bias on the day. There had to be. Had
and
to
mate,
be.
And mate, oh, look, I haven't looked into the numbers, but she wasn't reeling off cheap sectionals
Well,
early on.
yeah, I know. It's like it just got me. It got me a bit frustrated. You know, what that win reminded me of? Lasquetti Spirit with Brendan Avdulla in the Oaks.
Yep. Yeah, no, very, very well found. Oh, man, that first race, as soon as they didn't run on and that thing just kicked away,
I was a slower learner.
oh, I just had a bad feeling. Bad feeling.
So
I'm like actually speechless.
I'm without speech.
Yeah.
So I said I wasn't going to do this, but I had to, because I think what days like this are, they're an opportunity to go like, all right, what can we learn from it? Sometime, and you said this right yesterday, you potentially just put the entire meeting in the bin.
Yep.
I think there is a potential for that, but at the same time, you have to take our little wins, which we will kind of touch on from race to race, because there were some favourites that we wanted to take on, and they did lose. Most favourites lost, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But there was some really big underperformers on the day. So that's what I'm kind of hanging my hat on, because I don't have much else. But so leader bias, but I don't know what is happening to the state of our elite Group 1 races at the moment, because there was 2 instances where the pace that is being set in these races is not good enough.
Yeah.
I'm getting real sick of it.
Mm.
And I think it has to do with these 3-year-olds. I'm not convinced they're a good bunch anymore. And our mile ranks, I don't think they're much good either. So that spacewalk race would have led the Coolmore by about 7 lengths to 600 metres. So the Coolmore with 19 runners in it.
Couple of scratchings.
Ridiculous. So I think overall, the Coolmore ran home 11 lengths quicker for the last 600, which they deserved to do, right? So they beat them home by 400 metres, but they're entitled to do that. 4 lengths.
Do you know what frustrates me as well is that you see a lot of reviews of meetings like this, and I feel like people who know more than us and are professionals, they talk about last 600, last 400, like elite figures. It's like, well, the last 600 metres is fucking irrelevant if the first 600 metres was farcical.
Yes.
It's an irrelevant stat.
Yes.
And people will talk about it all week now.
Mm.
They'll talk about Osmosis, elite last 600, this is a really good horse. It's like, yeah, he is a good horse. But if they ran the race truly, he wouldn't have run that. He wouldn't have won.
No.
Same with Pride of Jenny. And it frustrates me because you, as a punter, like you're missing the boat most of the time. You know what I mean?
Mm.
You miss the jump. Like if we knew how the track was going to play on the day, our selections would have been completely different.
And all the information provided, there's not going to be any bias. All the lanes are going to be fair. And I think the fairest it did play was down the straight. You could basically win from everywhere, but in the circles, you wanted to basically be on the fence and leading. Essentially, you can kind of like put a line through the Derby because, as we said in the preview, there was 350 to 1 shots leading the race, and then they fizzled out, and then
traffic cones.
Yeah, and then Riff Rocket pops out, wins, and Apulia gets on his back, and they're the ones fighting it out. And Sunsets was there as well. So it's like, anyway. So, the Coolmore. Shall we re-watch it?
Oh.
So, Osmosis, maybe he just needs to get away from the Chinese, like, racing club silks.
Hates them, doesn't he?
How much does King's Gambit win this by?
Oh, he wins this race because he sits just off him and explodes.
I reckon he sits because he drew barrier 2.
He's where Shinzo is.
Yeah, I reckon he's around where Shinzo is. Potentially behind Don Coolleone, who does run last.
So you had a take during the podcast about Shinzo that you wanted to see him out to a mile as a 3-year-old. watching that race yesterday, I probably agree with you, mate, because I think he would have kicked away if the race was
Race to suit.
So maybe he is looking out for 1,400 metres. I don't know. But Osmosis was good. And well done to Rachel King, like Group 1 Coolmore star, Bjorn Baker. That's awesome. Derby racing, awesome result for them. But I couldn't have had him after his last start. Couldn't have had him.
No way. No, it's like, I'll look at it. It's like the ones I was considering, which were in my top 4 selections, were I Am Unstoppable, who ran second. Stratton Angel was my on-top selection. Fair to say, I think she's probably a prep away, I reckon.
She's a smart filly,
She's
mate.
good. But
First filly home.
Yeah, true. I Am Unstoppable had King's Gambit in there. And then I had V8. And V8, I think, was the first one home from the Guineas.
He was, yeah.
So I think that's something I've learned is like you can kind of, I think Mick Sharkey has this concept as well. It's like just basically put a line through all the Guineas form. And you look at them and you can tie in like the flight stakes as well there with like Tiz Invincible and stuff. They're just all behind, like second half of the field. So I think moving forward, that's what I'll do. But yeah, I look back and it's like Osmosis. Would I have ever considered putting this horse on top? Not if it was the last run. No way.
No, you couldn't have. You couldn't have. If he got an Everest slot and after that first up start and didn't run in that next race, I can't remember what it's called, where he failed and got beaten by King's Gambit, and he's instead in the Everest and runs a midfield, finish in the Everest, then I'm like, okay, yeah, look, I would consider him because I like the Everest form into this race.
Yeah.
Something that we were both right about though, mate. Where the fuck is Cylinder?
I know. Third or fourth last. TC said it best. End of prep.
And we were right, mate.
And I think he did land up starting favourite. So that's the things that I'm looking at, right? And I'm like, all right, I got that part of the race right, which I'm happy about. Stratton Angel I didn't get right, but I was also weighing up King's Gambit. And I think if he's here racing at his best, I think he fights out the finish. I think he showed that he's a better horse than Osmosis and I'm Unstoppable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, from that point of view, it's like I'm trusting my judgment. I didn't get that wrong, I don't think.
So what do you do with King's Gambit heading towards the autumn?
Well,
are they going to run him in the Champions Sprint?
Interesting. That would be fascinating. Imagine if he comes out and wins that. It's probably worth more at stud.
Yeah. That might come too soon for him, though. As a 3-year-old in the autumn, get him into a new market handicap down in the weights, a Lightning.
Well, that's what we were discussing yesterday. Is like, well, you probably take him to something like maybe an Oakley Plate and a Newmarket. Hope he knocks off one of those. And it's like down the weights handicap. An Oakley Plate might suit him better. Like, because we saw him down the straight. I saw as soon as there was like he was getting betted, Twitter blew up going like, oh, the wind direction must have changed, and he felt it because everything needs to go right for that horse. But he has some serious talent.
He does. He's good looking horse too. I was obviously on Shinzo Drifters, and look,
I thought he loomed up. I thought he was just going to.
Yeah, I thought he was going to absolutely blow him away, but just sort of peaked on his run a little bit. Yeah, here's what it is.
So, yeah, I Am Unstoppable, very good. Arkansas Kid was good for Ollie. Ollie had a day out yesterday.
Yeah, had a great day.
So he should. He deserves it. But yeah, I was annoyed.
Filthy.
Annoyed.
Filthy.
At that. But, it is what it is. Now, the Derby. Told you, Drifters, there was no pace in this race. And they actually ran a decent clip, to be fair. So they, when you compare this to the Archer, they would have led the Archer field by about 7 lengths to 600 metres. And the Archer field ran home about 2.5 lengths quicker. And it's like they're small field, though. So tactical affair. They don't want to be too banged up heading into the Melbourne Cup on Tuesday. So I can kind of understand that. But I thought the Derby actually ran at a slightly quicker pace than I was anticipating. Do you reckon that's fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously not going to watch all this, but Bulawayo was up there, Sacred Eagle, and then Tokyo Run was 4th. 180. We're looking at 197 to 1, 84 to 1, 112 to 1. So basically, you can put a line through all three of those and Aerosol in there because he just didn't stay. He lost a shoe in the run as well, so nothing went right for him. He was my on-top selection. He just didn't stay it either. The fittest horses in the race run 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
I think you take away from this.
Yep. No, easy to take away. Again, like, will any of these go on to do anything?
Riff Rocket, maybe.
You reckon Riff Rocket?
Yeah, Apulia, like, in his 2-year-old year, was, he was consistent, but he was never. I think they've just been waiting for him to get out to this distance.
When they brought up the photo finish of Riff Rocket getting over the top of Apulia, you pointed out the J-Mac factor.
Yeah, mate, 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Hayes Boys sprung second both times.
Yep.
Horse I did want to give myself a self-trumpet for is Cosguy running at 60 to 1 into fourth.
There's your Ned Same Race multi right there.
My God. Yeah, if only he could have just stuck his neck out a couple of 3 lengths.
Just a little bit quicker.
Yeah. But no, he ran a super race.
Yeah.
And yeah, Trent Busson and Natalie Young run second, third.
They're on fire.
Sorry, third, fourth.
They're on fire at the moment.
They're doing sensational stuff. But yeah, J-Mac just willed this thing over the line.
Yep.
I thought, I think the Bob made it look a bit closer than it actually was.
Yep.
So yeah, the Derby, look, I was happy to take Riff Rocket on. He was awfully short odds, mate. $2.20.
I didn't even bet on him.
Yeah.
And he was my on-top selection. I was tossing up between him and Apulia, and obviously just flip of the coin went the right way.
Yep.
That's all I take out of that.
Now, the Empire Rose. So, prior to Jenny, would have led Kaizad, that Brave Mead race, by about 11 lengths to the 600 metres.
Yeah.
And it still would have won by about 4 lengths. So, she set a decent tempo, I think it's fair to say. In terms of like what it's like against the benchmark and that sort of thing, we don't pay for those subscription drifters. We're just looking at the raw times that are supplied by the various websites. So if you want to do that, are you going to fork out that amount of money?
Don't need to.
Yeah. We're guys anyway. Now, my on-top selection was Hope in Your Heart. Now, I only found out probably at the 1,000-metre mark that this was a good 3-track.
I didn't tell you. Sorry, mate. I knew before the race, but I just didn't think to say anything.
Oh, that's all right. I definitely, it is what it is. I definitely would not have bet on her if that was the case, but that's okay. Like my second pick was Shuffle Dancer. She finished like third last anyway, and she went out to about 40 to 1. Would I bet on Pride of Jenny? Absolutely not.
No.
And like Deny Knowledge runs fourth here.
Yep.
So it's like I think that kind of goes to show how hard it was to run on during the day. And all things considered, a tissue has run out of her skin here.
Yep.
Because I think that's her settling about 5th or 6th last. And J-Mac, to his credit, gets going pretty early.
Yeah.
Life Lessons was good here too.
Life Lessons was good. Knocked off Princess Grace last start. Look, if that bias doesn't exist, a tissue is the rightful winner of that race.
Yeah.
I was on alcohol free. Don't know. I don't know what to take out of that race.
I think
probably nothing.
I think what we have learned and I've kind of said this, right? And I think I've almost been justified, even though an international won the Golden Eagle yesterday, was these internationals that come over, i.e. from Europe, over the mile distance, sprinter milers, put a line through them when they race here. I'm happy to take them on every single time.
Yep.
Japanese, Oben Buramai, is different gravy because the Japanese are they're better.
Yeah, they are better.
So yeah, it's it's just another result that you have to live with, unfortunately.
Yep.
Like all things considered, Hope in Your Heart actually finishes off quite well here, but it is what it is. If any of you sickos were betting on Hinged, there is excuses actually. One that she hasn't won for 2 years, but also she was lame all over the place. I reckon that could have been the last time we saw him.
I think it's the last time we see her, mate. She's been ready for the breeding barn for probably 12 months.
Okay. Yes. So let's go through the rest of the card before we get to Sydney as well. It's all right, mate. We'll get through it together, eh? So Kaizad in the Carbine Club. Now, this was the first leader of the day to win in the first race, right? But if I look at this for the card, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 winners were first at the 400 metre mark. Now, there was 1 second, that was Spacewalk as well. So you basically call that 6. Cause for concern, that was a really bunched finish, and Tamerlane just kind of, he fell away, but he still only got beaten by half a length. Derby, Riff Rocket, 6th in running, but may as well have been 2nd with those. And then Queen of the Ball was like down the straight as well. So I think it's like in the circle races, it was definitely an advantage to be on speed.
100%.
So, yeah, Brave Mead. I'm the opinion he probably doesn't run out the mile. I think that's something we learnt yesterday.
I think so. Yeah. Geez, I saw a lot of people tipping Heeman.
My God.
Every man and his dog.
I've never seen a horse crab like Brave Mead did on the corner. Jamie Spence, mate, he's bloody legless here.
Yeah, bizarre here.
Like, in Australia, Bloodstock just keep putting him on.
Who's he on in the cup? Jamie Spencer. Is he going to be here for the cup?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not
Presume
sure.
so. Well, actually, Australian Bloodstock has 3 runners.
Well, when we do our Melbourne Cup preview, which will be out probably later today, Sunday, we might discover who he's on.
Yeah, we actually might.
So stay tuned for the next episode. Kaizad, rock hard fit, but again, like if you're tipping this horse or you're betting into this horse at $11 when what Brave Mead did to him last start, like full credit to you. Like, but Brave Mead was the only horse you wanted to be on that race.
100%.
So again, it's another result I'm happy to live with. Calipore, look, let's not bother. Just an Ollie special. Athabaskan, that horse just struggles to win.
Yeah, I still think it's very good, mate.
Yeah. Need another tissue?
I'm okay for the moment.
Queen of the Ball. This was a good win.
It was a good win, yeah.
So Rose Quartz, yeah, was kind of like doing her own thing back to the rail here. Red card. So you were really warming to red card later.
Really warming up to her. Back to the 1100. You know, if she rebounded and found her best form, she'd blow this field away. But no.
So I believe, this is just me looking at this with clarity, I think Zapateo is a better horse than Queen of the Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Mate, what does she do here? Honestly.
She should have been there.
She should have been there.
Should have been there.
Am I missing something?
Mate, imagine Asfura.
Yeah.
That would have been. She would have been $1.20.
Yeah, exactly. But
it would have been a winner.
hey, I guarantee you that you would have multied her into Riff Rocket.
I would have to get some value.
All the red card fans, there is an excuse. She was found to be lame. Probably because of that rock hard track, actually.
Get me a tissue.
So there was one excuse.
Yesterday was unbelievable.
Spacewalk.
I was thinking about him. Like, I was considering him. It's a gross race.
Yep. I was keen on Chain of Lightning. I was also keen on Triple Missile. We finished 6th and 7th. Chain of Lightning, she obviously needs to win again, and I think she needs cut out of the ground as well. She reminded me a bit of Diamond Effort Remember Diamond Effort?
Yeah.
I
was on her.
Yeah. The Spacewalk just jumped out of the ground here. Bang. And that is nearly Crosshaven running over him.
That's the sort of day it was, mate.
Be sickening.
That would have been sickening.
Like, yeah, Jamie Carr got back into some form, which was great to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the bashing of her was so unnecessary. She was just out of form.
Just out of form, mate.
And she found it on the biggest stage, so good on her. How's the audacity to run on here, Chain of Lightning through the line? Ugh. Get out. Spacewalk. Should have given him another chance.
Well, mate, we should have.
Yeah.
If he won last start,
Yeah.
would we
$3?
Would we be on him? Probably, because he would have won last start.
Yeah.
Recency bias. Such an idiot sometimes.
And the dual form was franked in Sydney in the last with the Source as well. We got him on the blower.
Yeah.
I think he might have helped a few people get out.
Oh,
Thankfully.
if only the victim's best of the day got up as well. Would have been a nice little two-legger to finish off and get us out of that hole, but it is what it is.
So this is a race I think we need to dissect because the Oaks will be on Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Wakeful Amazonian Lass led the entire way and won.
Oh, man, disgusting. Disgusting.
I feel like we're going round in circles.
Been here before. We're going round in circles. I was on Harlow Mist. You were on Harlow Mist. I thought she ran really well.
She did. I think I'm not a fan of the 1800 back to 1500 up to 2000 prep. I'm starting to learn. It's 2 years in a row, John.
Yeah, after the fact. During the week, I was like, yeah, I like the prep. It was a silly thing to say. Again, I thought I was better. I was getting too big for my boots. But who beat Zardozi in the Oaks?
It's a great question.
Honestly.
Well, if I'm going the SF, I'm hoping it's 2 to La Vida because I've got a $21 ticket on her for the Oaks.
Don't talk to me about toxic futures markets, mate.
True. Hey, mate, the final field hasn't been finalised. I'll probably put it to the paddock.
Valiant King being scratch drifters. Anyway.
So, yeah, Amazonian Lass was the bunny that everyone had to chase here. We're entering into the straight. Harlow Miss gets a suck run, goes around one horse, and look at Zardozi she just looms into her races, doesn't she?
Yep. And she'll get better as she gets further out.
Apparently, right here, J-Mac hits Harlow Mist in the snout with his whip.
Oh.
Yeah, so that can't possibly help Harlow Mist. But she wasn't going to, even if that didn't happen, I don't think she gets closer. Zardozi's going to start your awfully short favourite in the Oaks.
See, I've got a pretty good record in the Oaks because I think the favourites have a phenomenal record there, at least recently. And you know, so I think it's a pretty straightforward race, the Oaks generally.
This horse running into fourth could be the one as well. That was the thing that was from Sydney, I believe. What's its name? Give me 1 second here. Atherflade?
Yeah, I saw a few people spec that
Yeah.
during the week.
Get its form. Let me have a look here. So that was only his fourth start. So
Yeah, right, okay.
that's right. It defeated Make a Call in a maiden at Kembla
Gotcha.
over 2,000 metres. So back-to-back 2,000 metre runs will be one of the fittest horses heading into an Oaks, but first prep. Oof.
Zardozi against the
It's gonna be
pattern. Zardozi against the pattern.
Yeah, true.
She's the one.
She's the one. All right. Last race at Flemington then. Oh. Tamerlane. Talk to it.
I was very confident.
Confront your demons.
I was very confident.
Mate, Barry won, jumps leads.
I was even more confident considering the bias of the day.
Mate, look at that line out. And he's the best.
But he just fell away. So I had a closer look at the form on Friday afternoon, just finalising my picks and landing where I wanted to land. And the more I looked at the race, the more I just came back to Tamer Lane. And I was convinced that he was going to win. Convinced. And they just swarmed him. They swarmed him.
So that's cause for concern with, I think, 53 kilos in the pink there. Obviously, you can't see this vision, but still only how bunched this field is. It's only like a length and a half off him, and it's like 8th in the running. So, J-Mac is. I think he's given Tamer Lane every chance.
Oh, 100%. He had no excuses.
Yep. You know who I want to rewatch here? Apparently, in the stewards report, there he is, Munimek. You can barely see him. Held up until the last 100. Apparently, how the hell has Blake Shin got him there? Oh, this horse is winning next start. Oh my god, that is a tragedy, Baden.
Munimek.
Yep. Oh, look at it. Sprout. Oh, mate.
Hutchie would be dirty.
He'd be filthy. How much did he get winning, running third there?
Not sure, but he was an each way price. So I'm sure Hutchie responsibly whacked him. He's a good horse, Munimek.
He's very good. He said he was flying. Nick Ryan's a great trainer, mate. Underrated. Clino ran second last. And the other roughie in the race that I was banging up for, Williamsburg, third last.
Yeah, you were trying to influence. A young man by the name of Mitchell Swepson to put him in the quaddie.
Oh, sorry. Corner pocket ran last.
14 in. Corner pocket
Ran last.
Jeez, we really let ourselves down in front of him yesterday.
And baby Bo.
And little baby Bo.
Like, not good.
We haven't converted one there. Little baby boy, Bo. He was happy, though. He's probably the only one in that TAB who was happy.
He was, gives a bit of perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, Stewart's report from Flemington. Red Carb was lame. Big Gaza Blanca was lame. Cylinder, poor recovery, and TC said that he's come to the end of the prep. Gold Bullion lost a plate in the run as well. And in Opie said that he will be better with some give out of the track. Barbie's Fox, a cardiac arrhythmia, and Hinged was lame in the front and the back. So it's not good.
Yeah, put a line through that meeting.
So, yeah. I think what Jonesy said as well was like, if you're racing against the pattern, those could be the ones to kind of latch onto for future. But also, if you decide to take on a favourite and it kind of like ran nowhere, then take solace there.
Yep.
Sydney. Let's go to Sydney,
Oh, surely Melbourne was such a bad day that Sydney was good, yeah?
Tell you what, mate. We've said this. I reckon we said this, and we kind of lost ourselves. We said this. Our first meeting, our first review podcast back, I reckon, was. Sorry, give me a sec. Racing New South Wales has been a real piece of work right now.
Going haywire.
Was the market in Sydney.
Oh, they know.
If they drift there, holy smokes, they have got none. And there was Canberra Legend was one. How they do it? How do they know?
Show high.
Show way?
Showy.
Showy. Showy.
Showy.
Shout out to you, bro.
He'd be listening for sure.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a blast from the past yesterday?
That's a name I haven't heard for a very long time. So, yeah, and they just, like, Showy, like, he started $4.40, mate. He was $2.80 on the morning. Like, Canberra Legend was $2.50. I think he started, like, $4.50 or something. Like,
No chance.
It was ridiculous. All right, so let's not bury the lead here because I have some things to say. We thought the speed was farcical in the Coolmore. Mate, I don't think there'd be many times that a benchmark 78 would run better time than a Golden Eagle with 17 runners. That frustrates me, man. Like, what I was meaning to, like, our mile form as well, that Epsom was set up for Radina to win it because there was 0 speed in it. And you had the pacemaker in that was Golden Mile, who, you know, faded into third but ran quite a good race.
Pericles
Wasn't in the race. But
you're talking about the Epsom, yep.
So, basically cut, copy, rinse, repeat here. So, Golden Mile, who I don't think he's a natural leader. I think he likes taking a sit.
I don't think Pericles is a natural leader either.
No, I think it's just get off and gone like, well, we'll take up the running.
Yeah.
No one else is going to. But it just frustrates me because, all right, I've written this down. I'm going to read it word for word. The Golden Eagle field of 17 would have been trailing the benchmark 78 that I'm in to win. So race 2 on the program, won by 10 lengths. They would have been trailing that by 10 lengths. A field of 17 to the 600 metres. And then in the 4 Pillars Midway, where it was $9 the field.
The grossest race of all time.
They would have been trailing that field by 2.5 lengths as well. So it wasn't just like a small tactical affair. Both of those races were like quite big fields as well. And then, as you'd expect, the Eagle ran home still only 5 to 5.5 lengths quicker in the last 600 metres. That's compared to the Midway. But like, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated at this result as well because you have horses like Amelia's Duel, Legato. They just, Kovalika, well, he pulled up lame as well, cardiac arrhythmia. But they just were never given a chance.
No, they weren't. And that's why my first thought, best thought, Pericles, warmed up to Amelia's Duel as the week went on, Drifters, but because I knew Pericles would be in the first third. Mate, this is why Alligator Blood's won 7 Group 1s.
Yeah.
Like, he's a very good horse, but he puts himself up on pace. And that's why Waterhouse Bot have a much better strike rate than Chris Waller.
Yep.
Because they put their horses up on pace.
I understand.
Mate, these, honestly, I'm sick of them too. I'm sick of these slowly run grand finals.
And I think I can, you know, if you can find I'm thinking about it, right? Putting the onus back on me. And it's like, all right, how can I kind of be better when I'm looking at a contest like this and it's like, all right, do I think it's going to be devoid of speed? The reason why I picked Legato is because she drew well. She had a gun jock on board. She likes a good track. Like, there's nothing that I was going to suggest. I was like, oh, field of 17, field of 18, there'll be enough tempo on this. Like, do I just kind of like disregard that now and go like, I don't think so. I don't think I reassess this race any different.
No, I'm with you, mate. Oh, geez, I actually would have been filthy if Pericles won, Drifters, after jumping off him. But no, you're right, and that's why I warmed to Amelia's Duel, because for the exact same reasons. Good jockey, she'll bounce back. Drew well, she'll be just off the pace, you know, and the best horses the cream will rise to the top. And she got crunched, mate. What did Frosty say after the race?
I'm lucky to be here or something.
Yeah, lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
She got absolutely crunched.
She did. And Simon Miller, it's funny actually, on his Instagram, you go Simon Miller. He's like poleaxed the verb to strike down with or as with a poleaxe. So he's see also 2023 Golden Eagle replay. So and basically Amelia's Jewel had a laceration as well to her leg. So and it was that serious that remember who's that WA horse in the autumn that you were massively keen on, and you said this will be the best 2-year-old that we have.
It was by Brave Smash, Brave Halo.
Yes. So that horse passed away.
Yep.
Because it got lacerations. That's immediately where my mind went into. Because if they're bad enough, they can get like sepsis or infected. And so I did see a tweet yesterday. God damn it, man! I'm so bad at stuff. Anyway, I'll try and find it. But basically saying that they've taken care of it. They've like stitched her up already. So hopefully, fingers crossed that she's all good. But she was just never given a chance. And look, I'm not a big, because I couldn't even imagine being a jockey, right? Mick D would want this ride over again.
He would,
Legato, because he was on the back of the winner, Oben Buramai. Amelia's Jewel was back on the inside as well. And it's so good in hindsight. It's a split-second decision as well. But, like, look at how much space Oben Buramai has back into the fence. And the fence was on in Sydney as well. And then Legato tries to loop the field. And it's just like there was too much work to do. Does she win? I don't think so.
There wasn't enough pace, mate.
No.
There wasn't enough pace. Well, who ran second, third? Pericles, Golden Mile.
Yep.
So Oben Buramai came on like a freight train. Like clearly he's a good horse.
So, and this is something I failed to mention. I was annoyed at this actually. So basically, this horse's form, you can kind of line it up with the 2-year-old form that we have here. So it's like basically their size produce and their Champagne Stakes. So he won the size produce over there. I think it's a Group 2 level. And then their Champagne Stakes, I think he ran third, but he was like, I think it was 11. I think it was like $10 in one. He was like $4 or $5 like second favourite or third favourite in the next. So it's like if you're in, that's a Group 1 level. The Japanese don't have as many Group 1s as we do. You have to be pretty damn good to actually run in them. So it's like, all right, we'll step up and actually take notice next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, agreed, and that's I need to be better at that and putting in the effort with horses like that. But for mine in that particular race, there was too much already.
Yeah,
for me to weigh up.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So Pericles, yes, that horse would have won the Epsom.
Yep.
Easily. Yep. And that's with me having a winner on the day, you know what I mean? But Pericles is a better horse than Redina.
Yeah. It was the one race I was keen on before the spring started. So he's one. Honestly, I truly believe he's one who will be in our weight for age ranks because he'll be up on pace. He's a gelding. In arguably the best stable. Yeah, he's a good horse.
Why 5-0?
We were against him.
Started favourite.
We were against him.
I reckon it was the draw. Everest form as well.
Yeah,
Everest form is overplayed to an extent.
Everest form, but like sprint race.
Yeah.
If this was 1,400 meters, maybe 1,300 meters. Yeah, but I just wasn't keen on him at all, and there was a massive push for him. Didn't understand it.
Yep.
So yeah, at least we got that right.
Exactly.
Now, the Giga Kick Stakes.
Oh, don't you dare! This was sickening. I thought I was better.
I thought you were better too, mate. They came for Private Eye.
Yeah, so they should, mate.
He's very good.
He's so good. I want to see this horse get a sit for once.
Oh, mate.
He does so much work all the time.
He does. Hot Nash on?
I know. Poor Nash. Mate, so he bookends the card, right? He gets straight back in and he wins the highway and he's like, I'm fucking back. And then he gets way to the Stars home in the last with an absolute peach. But in the jockey comments, poor Nash, he was just like, he's like, the horses run super. I just feel like crying, to be honest.
Oh,
And Nash, you're not the only one, mate, because I
Nashy.
thought you were fucking home.
Yeah,
champ.
I thought you were home. I said, look at Bella, and she came from the clouds.
Mate, how ironic that Craig Williams wins the Giga Kick Stakes.
Oh, mate.
I thought right now you couldn't have enough on Private Eye.
Bubble burst for
mate,
think about it.
This last 75 is breathtaking for Bella
Yeah.
Nicotina. Look at that. Look at that.
She flew.
Where does that come from?
She sometimes just has a performance where she just spikes, mate.
Yeah.
Like the Manicardo last year. I know she was not favourite, maybe second favourite, and a lot of people were keen on her that day. But she blew them away, mate, in the Manicardo. And that, I reckon, that she's just had another spike.
Yeah.
Because that's her 7th win in 42 starts.
And she hasn't done this on a good track.
No.
Like that Manicardo and her peak runs have come on heavy ground. And that's where I was like, well, Private Eye just spanks these at the price. Because think about it. I was happy to take on $1.80.
Yeah. And he's very good. Think about it. But the bubble has burst there.
Yep.
Like if he's... Oh, do you know what's a shame, mate? Giga Kick would have won that race.
Probably.
Giga Kick would have won the Everest too, I think.
He would have won this, and then he would have jumped into the Golden Eagle, and he would have won that too. Yeah, he would have. That would have been a fascinating choice they would have had to make, actually. Go into, because if you stick around, because they, how many runs? I don't know if he would have gone to Sydney and been eligible for that Team Blue bonus.
Yeah, right.
Because, do you go for that or do you go for a $10 million Golden Eagle?
Go for the Eagle.
Fascinating.
Go for the Eagle. Like if he wins the Everest and then is okay after it and bounces out of it, you say, no, we're taking this thing to the Golden Eagle and we're winning both because that will never happen again.
Wow. Well, it didn't happen, did it?
No, but...
Remember this time last year, people were going like, or even actually it was in the autumn. And I think a lot of people going like, oh, this thing's going to be the biggest money spinner of all time. It's like, hang on a second. It's had fucking 10 starts.
Guys, drifters, something you need to remember. TFM. Toxic Futures Markets. TFM.
Bella fucking Nicotina, mate. I've been saying in that sprinting bonus that this thing is coming second.
Hey.
Double points, she's in with a shout, and I disregarded her. Like a dirty rag.
Look at Bella. Oh, icky. Tissue. Tissue.
Margin 0.03 lengths. Oh, it's a bee's dick. Do we? Oh, mate. You know it's even more sickening?
What?
Wild Planet getting a win. 1,100 days.
Mate.
What?
That just honestly.
Are you kidding me?
That just highlights, underscores, emphasises the type of day it was yesterday.
So, Canberra Legend, massive drift. 250 out to 450. They didn't come for Wild Planet.
It didn't come from Wild Planet.
$26.
That would have been unbelievable.
You know who they did come for, who we gave a push, is this shock 'em over, mate, against the pattern.
He's
somewhat
a good
on
horse.
the day.
He's a good horse.
He's very good. He's better than 78 grade and whatever grade this was. Yeah, I'm keen for him for something. Or what would he go to? Something in the autumn.
Rupert Clark?
No, that's
he wants
that's
further,
like,
doesn't he?
That's like two weeks away.
That's right.
2,000 meters.
He wants further.
It's like a 2,000 meter handicap. Is there one?
I don't think we have one.
Anyway, shall we finish on a positive note?
Yep.
Now, the source actually texted me this morning, and for those who are not educated in what the Sydney source is, he's a tipster that we know really, really well, intimately even, and he gives us our tips, and we put them up on our Instagram on the Drift Podcast on our stories. Now, Sydney source and the Victorian victim didn't have a good day, but mate, you can check the receipts.
There's receipts.
The Morphil Mafia said at least half of these will win. And they did.
And they did.
And they did.
And they did.
So Moorfield Mafia had 5 out of 10, and I don't know what the bullies.
I think the bully got 6 winners.
He was 5 from 7 at one stage, including a $14 winner.
Yeah. So I think he got 6 winners on the card.
So, and Perth Prince, I'm going to be honest. I think he had a couple of winners early. I think it was 2 from 3 early, and then we've kind of like lost track.
Oh, it's hard when he's on the other side of the country, mate. Like he's 2 hours behind us.
Did that thing win? That progressive thing?
Oh, the thing I was talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Need to check.
All right. Anyway, let's look at Way to the Stars in all of its glory, because this was the Source's best bet of the day. Beat home duel last start in a Group 2. 4 weeks in between runs. This horse just looked like a perfect setup. Looked even better when Spacewalk saluted at Flemington. And to their credit, I feel like the good people at Ned's still let you on. He jumped about $2.70, which I thought was generous.
That was generous.
But on the grand scheme of things, still not enough to get it all back, I would have thought. But now it's just perfectly rated up in front, and this horse just blew him away, basically.
Yeah, mate. The source got you on the got us on the got us a winning check, which is nice. Nash, yeah, terrific run. Do you know what's just going to further underscore the day we had yesterday, mate? So that progressive thing, I've just had a quick look on my Ned's app. So it got beaten a lip.
Oh no!
By a $101 thing.
Oh, you are kidding.
Alsafina.
What is happening?
What is going on? Honestly, what is going on?
Is there something in the water?
Is there something weird and exotic going on? What's going on? I want absolutely nothing to do with this weekend. I want nothing to do with it. The Eaton's Hill Hotel, effectively doesn't exist.
Banished.
Doesn't exist.
Oh,
that blackjack table.
Oh,
Mate. I forgot about the casino.
So did I.
We were licking our wounds, drifters. We were like, you know what? Let's get something back.
Yeah.
So we'll go to the We'll go to the big house.
We'll play some team blackjack.
Yeah, it's team sport. And I took my favoured position on the far left, just because I like to see what's coming at me. I tell you who can call a pitcher. Your boy can call a pitcher.
You can.
To my detriment most of the time.
All right,
we got rinsed.
Let's talk them through one hand. One hand. That's all we need to do. Bang. Comes out. Bang. I hit 11. You hit 11. It's like, and then the dealer, I think, had 7, right?
Yeah.
Perfect position.
Perfect.
House sits on 17. All we need is 3 pitches in a row. I nudge you. It's like, we're doubling there. And we did.
Which was a no-brainer.
No-brainer. That's what you do every time.
Every time.
I get a 2 put in front of me. Oh, the fuck is that?
That's the worst card.
What is that? And I'm like, well, mate, you'll surely hit a picture here. You get another one. 2 2s. 2 deuces. They may as well
only
take
want
a
to see
shit on the table.
Why are you just taking a big steaming dump on this table? For me to clean up.
Fuck,
Mate, honestly, the only time you want to see 2 2s is when you hit perfect pairs. Didn't hit perfect pairs once.
Once. How much? Oh, and then, yeah, of course, Sarah, or whatever his name was, bang, hits a 10. They sit. Cool. That was fun. That was really fun.
That really just underscored the day, didn't it?
So yeah, that was how we were going. But all in all things considered, I feel like we had still a lot of fun yesterday.
Oh yeah, it was a great day. Phenomenal.
So I can
when you're with your friends, everything is fun.
So look, I don't think we're at apology stages yet here, drifters.
We're still going through the stages of grief, mate. We're in mourning.
Yeah, because I feel like we have enough runs on the board. Like when you're 249 not out and you miss out on getting 250, I think you can live with the result.
Oh, look, I still well and truly believe we're better. I want nothing to do with this weekend.
All right, so this is my question. almost going to preempt it into our Melbourne Cup runner by runner preview as well. So, it's 30 degrees in Melbourne on Tuesday.
Shit.
And there's a thunderstorm apparently around Melbourne Cup time predicted. How much water are they going to put on this track?
Are they going to
Overdo it?
back-to-back gold trip water it, or are they going to...
Well, the thing is like, we've seen it when there's been like, I don't know how much mil, right? But when it rains throughout the day, if there's sun, it just drains out anyway.
You water it. Because you'd rather water it, risk the thunderstorm, than not water it, no thunderstorm. You're playing on a concrete deck, which we don't want for the Cup. Our biggest race.
I think they almost put it in like the soft range. Like,
Yeah.
Prior to, because like you can't have it like
That was ridiculous, mate.
can't have it like that again.
No.
And my concern on it was that it was a mild day at best. Wind wasn't up that high. Like when you have a 30-degree day on Tuesday, it's just not good enough.
Headquarters.
Not good enough.
Headquarters.
We're big, just like Chad Townsend, mate. We're big Flemington guys.
Big Flemington guys. Big Flemington guys, mate. New South Wales. Trending. I'll tell you what, if that is by far the worst derby day of all time.
Yep.
Easily. And I finally picked a derby winner.
Congratulations.
Didn't even get on. He was too short. Would have got on it threes.
Yeah.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, didn't.
Yeah. Well, that's vastly different from 220.
Vastly different.
Vastly different.
Vastly different.
Like
Threes is an attractive betting proposition.
Like you can boost all you want at Ned's. You're not getting that price.
The good people at Ned's are good. They're not that good.
No.
They're not Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
And nor should they be.
No. They didn't resurrect themselves on the third day. They didn't do that.
All right. Shout out to Nick Scala, I believe. So talking of toxic futures markets, smart futures markets from him.
Smart betting.
He went last week. He just saw the Group 1s. He was like, you know what? All the favourites win these. So we went Imperatriz into Romantic Warrior into, who won the other one? Tom Kitten. Into
Riff Rocket. Well done.
50-1. Bang.
Oh, bang.
Yeah. So congratulations to you, sir.
That's not toxic. That's a healthy futures market.
Well done.
Well done.
Yeah. We'll see you for our Melbourne Cup runner by runner preview. We'll probably be looking awfully similar to this.
Pray for us.